Hey guys, Puggo's Pizzeria here, and in today's video we are talking about the possible dark future for Five Nights at Freddy's action figures. Now, I'm sure all you guys absolutely love the Fnaf Funko action figures. They're some of my highest viewed videos because you guys love them so much. There are so many absolutely incredible action figures that Funko has made, even just recently, like the Sun and Moon action figures were absolutely fantastic. But comparing a lot of the recent action figures to the ones we used to get in 2016, 2017, the recent waves have definitely been kind of disappointing, and there's been a slow decline on really all the Funko action figures. That's what I'm here to talk about, and possibly how Funko can fix this issue. So to start off, what was so great about the original action figures? Well, the original action figures were almost extremely identical to the characters they were portraying. They didn't cut any corners, really. They made them as accurate as they could, especially for a $10 figure. The first wave of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy with the buildable figure of Springtrap were absolutely phenomenal. The second wave of all the nightmares with the buildable Nightmarion. The third wave of Sister Location with all the amazing Sister Location figures and buildable Ennard. And comparing that to some of the recent series like the tie-dye figures or the balloon circus figures, there's a real kind of noticeable difference in quality that you can kind of tell. So what kind of changed? Well, first of all, one of the biggest things that I just mentioned is the buildable figures, and it feels like Funko is kind of cheaped out on this. Originally, in the old action figure waves, we used to get buildable figures, and these were some of the best parts of the action figure waves themselves. Normally, these were the coolest, highest quality, best looking figures out of the entire wave, and the only way to get these figures is to buy the entire set, so it gave people a reason to collect them all. In Series 1, we had Springtrap. In Series 2, we had Nightmarion. In Series 3, we had Ennard. And in Series 4, we had Scrap Baby. But then, they stopped making them. For some reason, Funko decided that a free figure, if you bought the rest of them, was just too good. They couldn't have that anymore. Free? No, thank you. Funko does not do that. So, they stopped doing free Build-A-Figures, which gave people a lot less reasons to collect them all. And, well, a lot of people were kind of confused. They thought, oh, maybe this series won't have a Build-A-Figure. There's no, correct figure for it, so the next series will. But we haven't got a Build-A-Figure since, which is honestly really sad, because that was one of the most fun parts of collecting the figures, was getting the amazing one at the end when you built them and put them all together. And Funko has been doing a lot of recolor figures and kind of random figures and skipping out on some of the most important and beloved characters that need figures of themselves. You guys know the most two recent full waves of FNAF figures we've gotten were the tie-dye wave and the balloon circus wave. And now these waves, I gotta be honest, I don't think these waves are really anyone's favorites. The balloon circus wave is pretty cool. It gave them a new way of posing them, but the reason people weren't huge fans of this is because we've never seen these characters before. We don't know who these characters are, what they're meant to look like, who they're meant to look like, how accurate they really are, and no one knows these characters, so no one really likes them. No one's attached to these characters like they are the original characters. The Nightmares, the Wizards, we'll talk about that, don't worry, and the tie-dye figures. Funko has already re-released the original figure wave as blacklights. There's already been a blacklight wave of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and now we don't need blacklights of all the figures. And to put kind of the cherry on top, the original Build-A-Figure, which you could just get for free if you bought all of them, is now for sale. Now you have to pay an extra $10 to get this Build-A-Figure, which was originally free, of tie-dye Springtrap. Normally, if we were going by kind of the rules of the original waves, the normal figures, you would have gotten this tie-dye Springtrap figure for free, and I thought that'd be pretty cool. But they had to make him his own separate character so he could get his own separate sale. And as harsh as I'm being, I can't lie, there has been some amazing figures, so I will give credit where credit is due. Most of the one-off exclusive figures that they've been making of the AR characters, such as Arctic Ballora or Firework Freddy, these figures have been amazing. Most of the time, these are Walmart exclusive action figures that you can only find there. I've been picking these up, you know, like the Blackheart Bonnie, and I just picked up the Firework Freddy, and I won't lie, these figures are great. They look extremely identical to the characters they're trying to represent, and it kind of gets you in the holiday spirit because they're meant to release around a certain holiday. So I do think these figures are pretty cool and very well made. Now, the main figures that everyone wants that Funko doesn't seem to make for some reason are some of the most popular and beloved characters of all time. Mainly the Withered animatronics, the Toy animatronics, the Phantom animatronics, and the rest of the Nightmares. Mainly the main characters such as Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare, they just never made these characters. But what would they look like? Well, throughout the video, you've probably seen some concepts of some just amazing designs for the Withered animatronics. Funko knows how badly people want these characters. When I've talked to them before, Funko's not too stupid. They know people love the Withers. They know it's the most requested wave, but because the characters almost seem so outdated at this point, the games came out almost 8 years ago, they don't really see a need to make these characters because they're not flashy, they're not new, they're not relevant, if that makes sense. They need to consider how all the larger toy sales will do, and in kind of their minds, they'll think people will see these outdated characters and they won't buy the figures just because, well, they're old and they're not new, like Security Breach or something. But again, the more recent figures that they've made, especially the Sun and Moon action figures, have been absolutely incredible from Funko, so it's not all downhill. Like, I know a lot of the recent plushies we were getting were kind of lacking in quality, and especially the mystery mini waves, in my opinion, have gone downhill the most, with not getting any store exclusives anymore, and figures inside their own wave being just bland, boring recolors. Very disappointing. The mystery minis have really fallen off for me, but the figures, in my opinion, I think they're still kind of staying strong, especially with the two most recent ones we've gone, which I know you've watched, being the Sun and Moon action figures. Having these two figures, they're amazing. These are some of the best action figures Funko has ever made, and that's really surprising to me. I thought the best action figures we've ever gotten were maybe like Ennard and Scrap Baby we got years ago, but they come out out of nowhere with these incredible Sun and Moon figures, and I can't just help but fall in love with these characters. So, the Funko action figures, there's definitely been a noticeable decline in quality, not making the characters people love like the original characters and the Nightmares. There's still a lot they can make. They literally made the Fnaf animatronics with the toy character molds, like Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica, but yet they haven't made the original Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica, which everyone would just love. So, that's kind of it. What do you guys think of the decline in FNAF action figures? I think out of all the waves, I gotta be honest, the FNAF action figures are some of the strongest waves imaginable. I do think Funko has been doing quite a good job with the Funko action figures, and that's why I'm kind of sad and almost a little scared to see them decline in quality, just because how amazing some of the recent ones have been. But yeah, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully we'll get Withered action figures someday. That'd be really cool. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and I will see you all later. Good